Hello and welcome to the PM Show, your weekly roundup of what's new and going on in the modelling world. Good morning, gentlemen. How are we all doing?
Morning.
Look,
got a special guest. Look.
Yeah, we have a special guest with us today. As you can see, Nathan's over with Matt at the PM store, giving him a bit of a hand today. So
from the other side of the country.
Yeah, he's driven across the side of the country in rush hour.
Yeah.
Did you come across the M62?
I did, yes.
Oh, nice.
It was marvellous.
It wasn't quite as breezy as it has been.
It's the worst motorway ever, the M62.
It is. Especially when the weather's bad. It's proper horrible, isn't it?
I wouldn't have done it 2 days ago.
No.
You probably made it.
Definitely. Anyway, all good. As I say, we're quite excited because we've got a bit of a special on this weekend as well, which we'll talk about in a minute as well. And we've had some new stock in. I'm back doing reviews this week as well, so we'll talk about those ones. But first of all, we can see we've got the latest release from Revell. Well, we think it's Revell. I'm not overly convinced it is theirs. Of the, what scale is that one again? 187?
188 scale.
188 scale. That well-known scale that everyone uses.
Another odd scale in it for sci-fi, Star Wars. But yes, it's arrived. One's winging its way to you to review.
Again, and we will say this straight off the bat,
What?
but I'm not going to bash Revell recently because clearly they are my favourite company, as everyone knows. But whoever did the artwork for the build-up pictures that have been put across the internet absolutely needs stuffing because it's awful. It doesn't do the kit any favours whatsoever. You see it built up and it looks like it's a cheap kid's toy, but actually, if you look at the sprues on their own, it's highly detailed and it's very nice. It's just that, I don't know, it looks like they've taken it home, given it to their 10-year-old kid who's never built a model in his life and say, use your poster paints on it.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not selling it. Schoolboy error, people.
Might be a professional modeler that's built them, but...
Do you know what? You're going to get some email now. This is like some absolute god of modelling who's had to build it in an hour because that's his deadline. And
it looks like he did.
You've just killed him. You've just shot him down big time.
Apologies. Again, it may be that is the case, and you literally only had half an hour to do the entire thing before they needed the photos, and in that case, we'll let you off. But this is the point: is that I've seen lots of pictures of this on the internet, which are Revell's own photos that they put out as promotional ones, and it looks awful. When I first saw it, I looked at the actual photos, and I'm thinking that's horrible. But actually, you look at the sprue pictures and they look really good and very nice sharp details and all the rest of it. It's just that the photos do not do it justice at all.
It was the same on the Razor Crest there, wasn't it? They were poorly
that was painted
executed.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, that's the thing. It's one of those where, like we've said recently, isn't it, that box art, I think, is more important now than it's ever been, because people literally are just looking online. They see pictures which we're given by, say, Revell's official photos for release, and it's just, you look at it and think, oh, that's horrible. And then obviously later you see the pictures of the sprues on their own and you're thinking, actually, that's really nice. So yeah, you'd be better off not painting it.
I don't think the box art's that bad. Like I say, it's
no, the box art's okay, but the build-up photos are questionable.
They're not doing it justice. They're not selling it, are they? I don't think.
No.
But again, you can make your mind up when you get it. It'll be with you tomorrow, hopefully. So you can have a look and see what you think.
Yes.
It's just an odd scale again, though, isn't it? Well, I don't.
Again, what's it? It says it on the box. Isn't it 26 centimeters or something?
Yeah. They do that with Star Wars stuff. They pick all sorts of random scales. Don't
Be nice.
So,
yeah.
188.
Yeah.
It's just that.
I mean, it's
but that does go somewhat, because their X-wing, isn't it, is 187th scale, I do believe, and I think their TIE fighter they did is about that scale as well. So it, whatever reason that is, which I don't know, they seem to be, at least they're all the same scale if you were building the series of. I don't know what the Razor Quest is. What was that?
1/72.
1/72, yeah.
1/72, yeah. So, and you think that's 33 centimeters long. So, and that's 26. So, yeah.
But how they get into these scales? That's why I can't get my head around. It's like, surely you just unify it to. If it is going to be 188 scale or all these other scales, then you do everything in that so they all go together.
Yeah.
Or
Mind
do
you,
it
the
in-
trouble you've got though, don't forget, if that was in 1/72nd, I know it doesn't seem a lot, but that would probably be around about what, sort of 40 centimetres? That's going to be a lot bigger. Sort of, I think about 35, 40 centimetres,
Why
something
don't do
like
it in
that.
48 then?
Wow. Yeah.
What 48? Sorry, in 1144 like Bandai
Yeah.
did.
Bandai one is, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And the
Obviously 48
Bandai one's
massive,
what? The
but
Bandai one's about 20 centimetres.
it would be cool in 48, but I mean that's because Thingy did the. We were on about it, weren't we? The old fine molds one, because I know Andy was looking for one, and they're fetching like immense money, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they were 72nd scale.
Yeah.
But it's like, is it going to be that much bigger than the Razor Crest when it's 72nd? Probably not.
I don't know, actually, it may be, because it is quite a large lump. It's very deceptive, the size of that thing, but I don't know. Yeah, it's probably, I don't know. Yeah, perhaps not. Might be about the same. So
I'm just thinking, we've obviously tie in with the programs. Obviously, you brought the Razor Crest out in 72nd, and then obviously this is actually in the same one of the episodes, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you think, well, like, do it in 72nd scale, and then you can tie them both together. I don't know. It's just, it's just odd. I'd love to know, like, say, the scale thing of where the right, we'll just do it 188 scale or whatever, 156 or whatever scales they're pulling out the hat. Do you think they just draw lots or something? Just random, just have one
randomise it.
Just press a number, right, that's the scale we're doing it in today.
Yeah, what is their thinking of it and what they're doing?
Yeah, because, inquiring minds need to know.
Mind you, it's a standard size box, that one now, because that's the same size box.
Do you think that's where it be actually? Do you think it is the box? It's got to fit in that box, so that's the scale they have to work to.
Yeah, maybe. As I say, it's very difficult with sci-fi because the ship varies in size and, all the rest of it. But, yeah, because... which one's that? The Millennium Falcon I got at 72nd, which is the Revell reboxed under the fine molds one.
I'm just thinking that is the same size box as a Razor Crest, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I bet it is. I bet it is the box size. You've got to work. You've got
the old Sebastian box scale.
You've got to get it in that box.
Yeah, that's it. But anyway, it is a nice one, and it's not going to break the bank either. Because what have we got it out for? 37 quid. So
that's not bad.
It's not a bad price either. But again, I wouldn't be put off by artwork you might see online. The kit itself actually looks very nice. Matt's sending me one down this week, so next week we'll get the review of that up and we can have a proper look at it. And I've got the Bandai one, I've built the Bandai one as well, so we can do a side by side and see how they stack up. But looking at the sprue shots, it looks really nice. So
you'll have it built on Saturday when we're doing live show.
Yeah, we'll do this live show, put it together, be fine. My paintwork might be slightly better.
But yeah, look, there you go. Look, we can see a bit of the sprue on the side. I think that looks pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty swish. Pretty sharp.
It does. It looks really nice. As I say, if you look at the actual sprue shots, it looks very nice. Just the artwork when it's completed, not so.
Anyway, so that's the new win. We've got some stock coming in, and obviously all that. All we're geared up for today is for Saturday, isn't it? Really.
Yes. So if you haven't gathered, obviously Saturday we're having a live show, which will run in the morning from 10 o'clock in the morning till midday, and then we'll be back with you 2 till 5. So we'll be building, but at the same time as we're doing all of this, we're going to be doing a massive sale with huge discounts right the way across pretty much a bit of everything, we're thinking, down in there.
2% off everything. Massive sale.
Yeah, massive sale, yes. And, well, that's it with inflation. We're obviously, and then obviously we'll have a little bit of stuff off of Floyd Model bits and pieces as well, as that one's going through as well. So, and again, you can join in with us, build along, send us your photos and all the usual things we do on the live shows. It'll be great to have along. Again, we'll have the chats open and the various bits and pieces. So, a fun day by all.
When we say us...
Well, not Nathan, because apparently he's got a bet. You
That's
might not. Weather dependent for Nathan.
If weather's bad, he'll be on. Yeah. And that's what he's hoping for. Bad weather. So we'll come on.
If he's not, he's going to
leave the house.
Yes.
Camp in his garage. So
yes.
I think John's on. He's off that weekend as well. He's off this weekend. I didn't know if he was working. So I think John's coming on as well. So we'll be there or thereabouts. Yeah, be a laugh, won't it?
It will be. Yeah, absolutely.
So what are you building? Your Hella kit?
I'll be doing my Hella kit, my CL215, the Yellow Wonder.
Oh yes, the Yellow Peril.
the Yellow Peril. So we'll be building that one and making our way through with that. So that'll be a lot of fun. It's somewhat coming together. Obviously, we started that on the last live show, so we'll be carrying on with that one. So that'll be nice.
I think I should really carry on with my Mustang, I think, because that was what I did start, and it's languishing over there. But
I'm going to carry on
I do that in the morning, something else in the afternoon. Are you carried on with that?
I'm carry on with that. Need to get it finished.
I was finished.
Have you painted it yet?
I actually painted these bits as well because the decals were doing me head in, so I took them off and repainted them.
Okay.
Told
I
him
painted the canopy using the colour you said on when you did yours.
Yeah, which was what? It was
82, I think.
Was it? Something like that.
Yeah, it's quite a good match, actually.
Yeah. Close enough.
Yeah, so it's just basically decaling now. I'm going to reuse decals for the rest of it. Should be all right.
So if you're on what you're going to be building.
I've got my Sea Harrier that keeps getting put in a box, haven't I?
Oh, you have? Yeah, you see Harrier. Yes. So we will see. But yeah, should be a good laugh. Should be fun, shouldn't it?
It will be. Bit of a deal.
I painted R2's head the other day.
Oh, right.
You can see it in silver and used my in fact I used Sharpie.
Let me just get my binoculars out so I can see.
Is it on that matchstick?
Yeah, is that the head of the matchstick?
Yeah.
Could just be
I was going to use my Posca pens, but there wasn't one dark enough, so I ended up using Sharpie.
Yes, definitely with the blues. Cool. Up with you later on today, you will get the review of this wonderful kit. I haven't reviewed it yet. I'm going to do these as soon as we finish the show. So these ones were new in the other week, but Matt sent them down for me. So I've got down here the P51 Mustang. Really looking forward to seeing that one. But the marking options are absolutely beautiful. Some good marking options down in there, very, very nice indeed. And the other one, as we were saying, we've got them up just here, and here it is. I'll do the review of this one as well, and this one will be up with you tomorrow. So this is the IBG for the Focke-Wulf 190. They've got 4 out now, haven't they? I think in total.
Yeah, there's 2 other D9s coming out. Yeah, so I knew they'd follow on with them, but yeah, it'd be nice to see your opinion on that.
Yes,
I've heard good things.
I have as well.
So obviously that's the Wi-Fi version.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember that's never existed.
Right. Okay.
That's why I sent it you, because it's the crap version that nobody wants.
So what? They never did a torpedo bomber version.
No, not on one of them.
Oh right. Okay. Shows what I know.
I don't even know where that's come from. Do you actually know where that's come from?
I think with the D9 it came out right at the end of the war.
Really? Yeah, when they were
so it might have existed in some sort of pre-production.
In a drawing.
Yeah, or in a drawing. So, but the markings are quite well.
That's different, isn't it?
Markings are cool.
Surely you can take the torpedo off and just do a normal one with.
Probably.
Well, the only thing is, if you notice, the top cowling doesn't have the guns.
Oh,
I wonder if it's in the box.
Yeah, it might be in the box, but only because I'm just looking at it, thinking, "What is it?" And I just know it doesn't have the 2 machine guns on the top. It's only got them in the wings.
How does it protect itself then?
Well, it's got wing guns, so it's got the ones in the wing roots.
Fantastic sort of torpedo bomber, can you?
Wouldn't have thought, no.
So I presume that's done in that R&M blue that everyone thinks, what the hell was it for?
Possibly.
Oh God, oh no. No, wrong show, don't go there.
Yeah, don't start on paint colours on this show.
No.
That's not good.
It never existed.
I could say, yeah, it did in somebody's head. But yeah, that'd be interesting to see what it's like, because obviously the other ones are going to follow suit like that one, and there's 2 other versions, isn't there? So
yeah. And again, another great thing about them is the price. They're only 20 quid. So
yeah.
Again, that makes it somewhat of a bargain, isn't it, for those types of kits? But you say, it will be interesting to see. I've never seen obviously an IBG aircraft. We've looked at their kits in the past, and they're usually highly detailed, tons of parts. So it will be interesting.
I think it's interesting they've gone down that road, because obviously they're bringing out a lot of Polish.
Yeah, they did.
Polish aircraft of back in the day, which is a bit niche to say the least, you know. So I think they've gone a bit more, obviously, bring out a 190. 109, 190, you know, every day's
cashing in.
Sense.
Get the cash cows in.
Take the cash cows in, and it'd be interesting. Do you know what? I'd be surprised Armour haven't gone down that route yet. They're doing well to stay away from the Luftwaffe stuff.
Yes.
I think.
So far, aren't they?
Because if they did, wow, that would be a different level of Luftwaffe as well, wouldn't it?
It would be nice.
You know, if they did a 109 or a 190 or something like that, that'd be if Armour tackled one of them. Yeah.
Very nice. And again, it's quite nice that Armour aren't just doing the usual flooding the market with all these things. Yeah, they've kept the Hurricanes going nicely for a couple of years now. Obviously, we've got the 109s coming through, you know, in their different versions. There was the Wildcat they did, and
Wildcat, and obviously that P51's coming out into it, and
Just need some
steady, aren't they?
Nice steady releases right the way through. But what I love about them as well is that the marking choices are actually like Edard do. Yeah, they've obviously a bit of research on them, and they've got some great marking options that come with the kits as well. So
need some 148 stuff from them there.
Well, yeah, we're still waiting for their Hurricane, which would be nice to see. But
it's coming though, isn't it? They are doing it.
It is coming. Yeah, we've all been told it's coming.
Hopefully this year, but it's definitely coming. So. After it all went very quiet.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see.
Apart from that, we're a bit slow on new stuff coming in this week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just restocking. We have stuff like AK's come in, and we've got some Mr. Hobby stuff coming in, and Attacker paints have come in, and we've got to go through it. It'll all be up for the weekend. But yeah, it's more restocks rather than new stuff. I'll tell you what is actually on the pre-orders is coming in is the Hobby 2000 109s are out. And whatever else was doing, they're coming tomorrow.
Right.
They'll be in tomorrow, so Andy will be invoicing you them.
I'm just saying that the Zucamori BF109, we need to get our figures in by the end of the month, so that'll be closing
to Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Yes.
No, end of the month Monday, isn't it, really? But Friday's got to be cut off.
It's get it over to that one.
Yes, because that is the Dragon kit, isn't it? The early 109.
These Hobby 2000.
Good kit.
Yes.
Best is
very nice. Up on pre-orders, we've got the various ones, so we're still waiting for firm dates, aren't we, for the Zucamori?
Yeah, so that was closing on Friday.
Yeah.
Because they'll be imminent.
Obviously, another version, because you can't have apparently enough of them.
Come on, that looks mint.
It does look good, yeah, I must admit. It is a very nice one with white with a day glow.
Hey, if that version was out when you built yours, you'd have built that.
Yeah. I would, yes, definitely.
There you go.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's right up my street, that is, for something like that.
It's got a mouth on it and it's bright.
And thank you to a gentleman who I was speaking to when I was ill, actually, a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me all about the different versions of the Cobra. And because he used to work on them a lot. In fact, his entire military career was working on Cobras, and he was telling me the differences, obviously, between the F version, which everyone thinks has the sort of slat armor glass, the flat glass instead of the rounded, and the different versions of it and all the bits and pieces and that. And it's actually quite an interesting story. I won't bore everyone to death with it here. But it was quite interesting talking to him and all the rest of it. And clearly he was pointing out some of the things that are wrong with the kit, some of the things they've got spot on and stuff like that. So very nice indeed.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what came up. You know how you get that random stuff that comes up on your YouTube after you've had a conversation about something that you've forgotten about?
Yeah.
Oh, that sort of we're being stalked. A YouTube channel come up of a guy, I don't know if it's a guy or a group of people who are restoring a early Cobra, and they've got some Hueys as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it came up, and I was like sort of watching it, and I think they were on about the differences because they're trying to find. They're doing a Vietnam early one, but they've got to find obviously it's an original airframe, but I think they're trying to find original parts. Right. Which is obviously because they were saying the differences between early and late. Yeah. Like you've just said, and it was quite an intriguing to try and find it. It's really, it was really quite interesting, but it's just like really random. But you know how things come up, isn't it, on your recommended search or recommended viewing or whatever. It's like, hold on a minute.
Yes. How do you know? I was only talking about it in the kitchen. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, with a company with models in the name of it, you get some all sorts of.
You get a lot of interest from Canada.
But yeah, so anyway, that's a really nice one, and obviously it's 32nd scale. So again, they're in between scales at the moment. It seems to be ICM.
Yeah.
Doing all these things. That's very nice down in there. The Gotha. Any news on that one?
That should be next month, I think.
Yeah, next month.
These are next month. Yeah. So the ICM are pretty good, aren't they? I mean, that's something
Definitely.
You've got little one.
Yeah.
You've got a little one here.
It's-
So
Yeah.
again, why not?
Niche, but yeah.
Different, isn't it?
Why not?
Well, absolutely. Yeah, no, going through them. The IL2 from Zvezda, unless suddenly
Yeah.
there's a boycott or something.
It better not be. Now we're doing a SU25. I tell you what, because obviously that's what I talk about. The SU25 sprue shots. Have you seen them yet?
No.
Anybody?
No.
Oh God.
It's the only one with the finger on the pulse.
Can't get staff. You can't. Do you know what? It's got rivets. It's got. Just go and have a look. It looks really, really nice. I need a price. I'm getting annoyed now that I can't get a price for it to put it up on a pre-order, or at least so we can talk about it. But yeah, if we'd have clued this up earlier,
Yes.
we could talk about it. If Phil can fill it in after.
Yeah. I'll just edit this in. All the
It's got
photos
raised rivets.
going through.
The back end of a SU25.
Yeah.
It has actually got the raised rivets on the kit.
Nice.
And there is
Yeah.
riveting around panels. It's not. I don't think it's fully riveted, if I remember. But cockpit looks a bit sparse. But like I was saying, Quinta, Edard, every man and his dog will be all over that. And it's a tiny cockpit on them anyway.
Yeah.
I'd have thought res kit will be all over the wheels and weapons if you've got to upgrade them, as will be Edard. And I wouldn't be surprised if Edard don't do a special boxing of it.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
the
I think they
Czechs
probably
used
will
to.
do.
Before, like that one you built.
Yeah.
I can't talk for Edard, obviously, but they had some brilliant schemes on the SU25s, and
Yes.
obviously that kit you built was old when you built it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've obviously been doing a new tooled SU25 for decades, really. Yeah, everybody will be all over it. Everybody's used them. There's that many countries as well, that's used them.
Yeah.
I just think it's just and it's cool looking.
It is very cool jet. So yes, no, it'd be interesting to see that one. Do we know? Is there a timeline on that?
Well, it's this year, but yeah, I've not got a actual first, second, third. I don't know when's second quarter coming in. Is that March?
Yeah, March
I don't
onwards,
know,
the
I never
second
know.
quarter. Yeah.
Like I say, I have spoke to Obico is the importer for Zvezda, and I've spoken to the rep, and he's not had any info yet, even though it's all over the internet. I just get a price.
So I'm looking at the 3D renders of it now, and it does look
It looks mint.
very, very nice.
Compared to like obviously you lot felt let down by the 24, didn't you, because of the lack of rivets and stuff. I don't know if they've taken note of this.
Yes.
But they've definitely put them on the SU25. So yeah, be good to see.
Speaking of which, because I noticed we haven't got it on the store, the trumpeter Hind 24 got released a couple of weeks ago, didn't it?
Yes.
Did we not get allocation?
Yes, we've got them in. We've had them in 2 batches. That was the old problem. We had so many come in for the first lot, and then we've had the next lot come in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So actually, Andy'd invoiced who was left on the pre-order, and then what's left we'll put into stock, but it'll be up by the weekend, put it that way. So,
right. Okay,
and that's what I forgot to send you with the bloody one of them. I was going to send you one for review, weren't I? So you might be getting another box turn up.
Boxes, deliveries coming in all the time.
It's worth a look. It's going to worth a comparison to see what you think against the Zvezda one. Obviously,
absolutely, I think that's the thing as well. We can stick them up next to each other and have a look. I know both of them have got their shortcomings, but it is interesting.
Yeah. So
on that one. Yeah. Anything else we need to talk about in the pre-orders?
No, nothing. There's nothing we've put up really. It's all same old. Like I say, just wait for prices and and bits and bobs like that. So we can put some new ones up.
Cool. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so over to the questions. I've only got a couple of questions. Hello, team. Do you have approximate time for the 48 scale Buccaneer to come out? Thank you, Frank.
2030.
Isn't it
into August this year? It's supposed to be June.
Yeah, I was thinking late summer or autumn.
So it'll be Christmas.
Yeah, it'll be Christmas release.
Definitely the second half of the year.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I hope they do actually. I know we're jesting here about it, but I do hope they actually manage to get stuff out where they say they are and not get delayed. I know it's not normally their fault, is it? Because obviously we're shipping and other, manufacturing. Obviously that's been the reason for the past couple of years. But hopefully this year we're back to
back to normal.
back to a bit more normal of release dates and not delays and all the other stuff. So if it's summer,
Yes.
Are you excited?
I am. I mean, when I watched the Airfix show that they put up the other week, talking about Pramjet and his wife working on another project. Obviously, they don't say, so that sort of suggests that the Buccaneer's in that final
Yeah.
tweaking, and so it should be, touch wood, if shipping and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that, definitely.
In the back of my mind, I seem to have got August sort of like implanted there for some reason.
August, my gut feeling was autumn.
I would have thought, to me, it would have been a better, not thinking release dates, but probably around Telford.
Yeah.
If you're doing it October, November, I think that's...
I reckon, I wonder if it'll be the big hit in Telford where everybody's got
Does it
piles
not tell you
of
piles of Buccaneers.
Does it tell you in the Airfix magazine, Phil? In the Airfix catalog, they've got the dates.
I don't know. I've done with it now. It's probably a door wedge somewhere. I don't even know what I've done with it now.
Holding the table up.
Oh, it's over there. I can't get to it because I'm hardwired in. But yes, I must admit, I don't know if it actually says on there. I think it just simply says it's an autumn release. I think it was in there as well. So
have a look on their website, because I think
I'm just looking there.
Pre-order it normally says June.
Yeah.
Underneath. That'll give you an idea when it's out.
But no, I must admit, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
Again, we know Pramjet's been working really hard on this one for the last sort of 18 months or so. So, again, it's hopefully it'll do it justice and it'll look the part and all the rest of it. And if it's anything like the 72nd one, it's going to be all right, isn't it?
So what they're going to... Now they've got a Vulcan and a 48 Buccaneer.
Yeah.
What's people going to...
What's the next kit that they're going to get?
Yeah, you know how they get bombarded? We need a new...
It'll be Jag.
Yeah, it's the Jag or the Jew.
But it's never been like the Vulcan, has it, or the Buccaneer?
They just need the Wessex to come out.
You know, so they're going to get peace and quiet this year, aren't they? If they did Telford this year or whatever, they're going to get like really good peace and quiet. Because like, when's this coming out? Oh, it's out. It's done. Look.
Done it now.
Let's do it.
What more do you want?
Everything's off the tick list.
They can have a year off.
Yeah.
They'll get some obscure thing, won't they?
According to Airfix's website, it just says summer 2022.
All right, because that's the same as the Spit, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So there's got two big releases in the summer.
Airfix are getting a few.
Yeah, I've definitely seen somewhere where they've had the dates start. One's 1 month, one's another month. Yeah, so like they're following on from each other.
It'd be odd if it comes out at the same time, but yeah, to me it's a bit odd. I would have thought one was summer and one was autumn.
Yeah.
Second and third or whatever, but hey, that's up to...
Yeah, Spitfire says summer. Spitfire says summer as well.
Yeah.
It's the lap of the gods, isn't it?
It is really. Yeah, interesting.
Okay, so moving on. Graham says, hope you guys are all doing well. Have you heard about the AK9198 Superchrome? Yes.
Yes.
We've all seen that. Me and Matt were talking about this only yesterday.
Me and Nancy about it. No, it's not that.
No, it's not that. I can tell you it's not that.
We don't think it's that anyway. No.
It's not that. I've got it sussed. Okay, so for people who don't know, Andy's got there a bottle of Molotov Chrome, which was the go-to definitive version for doing any type of chrome work. And I've used it and I've done videos on it and all the rest of it. And it literally makes everything chrome. It's a mirror finish and all the rest of it. It's very easy to use. You just literally spray it down and away you go. And then obviously AK have just released a video with a Chinese lady with really hairy arms spraying a Silver Surfer guy. And it's one of those. It looks like it's covering very, very well and doing the job. The big thing is, Matt knows this as well, because being an ex-car painter, the stuff that's used is a commercial one that's out there. Also, doing a little bit of homework, you can get 250ml bottles, 100ml bottles for 15 quid. So, you know, there is other versions of it out there. You just have to go and find it. And it's basically, we think that's what it is, rather than the Molotov stuff. Because, say, Molotov one, I think 30ml bottle like you've got there, Andy, is about 15 quid.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Theirs, we're talking about, it's 60ml for around about 18 quid, isn't it? I think we worked out.
Well, 18 euros.
18 euros.
Euros,
So it's going to be about 15 quid. and all the rest of it. So it's all around that sort of price bracket of. But if you go and have a look a little bit further in, there is companies that do 100ml bottles, 250ml bottles. You can buy it in litres, 5 litres of this stuff as well. And it is all basically that. So there is other options out. I must admit, when I used it on the truck and all the rest of it, the Molotov stuff, it's great. But the great thing about it is, like we were saying, it's really easy to use. You just basically just go over. You don't need to sort of make primer, although they're saying you don't need a primed surface. But if you look at the finish on their guy, he's not perfect. You can see the granulation in the resin and stuff in there because of where they've put it on. And it does have, again, I was one of those people who paused the video and had a good look at it. You can see in certain areas, you probably do need, if you was to put down a gloss black primer, and it's like a mirror finish, then put that over the top, it will be a total mirror finish, no problem at all. But it will cover very, very well. But again, it's nice that it's a commercially available one. Mainstream, you know, you know, and again, just be careful, as we say, it's one of those things. It's not. It's a funny product to use. It's very similar to when you use, you know, alclads and any type of metallizers. You are plating. You can rub through it. And the big thing is, it's got a very, I don't know how you describe it on the thing, but the pigment, the way it works, lays flat. So that gives you that real chrome finish and all the rest of it. So it's got a very heavy pigment into it, and that's why it works so well. But again, just seeing him blast the Silver Surfer and put it down, it seemed to cover very well. It did the job. Like I said, it's one of those things. You need to put enough down for it to self-level. And then again, they're flogging their own thinner that goes with it, which you could probably just put lacquer thinners through, like I use. But
like I say, we're not using it. I don't know. But with any metal finish, it's all about the prep. It's not about the painting, is it?
No.
It's all about how good the prep is and smooth and whatever, and then that's determines your finish.
Yes.
I'm sure it'll be something that will be stocking in the near future.
Yeah, well, as I said, we were going to get it in. We've already discussed it and said, because, you know, again, there is other commercially available stuff available as well, but that's in big amounts, and nobody's going to really want to have a litre of the stuff or 5 litres of the stuff, not unless you're planning on doing your car.
That's what I'm about to say. It's, you know, and you said it's got a shelf life.
Yes, it does. Yeah, once you open it, they do have a shelf life.
You know, it's a bit like 2-pack lacquer. It's got a bit of a shelf life, so, you know, if you do open it, you've got to be aware if you're not going to use it, it's got a good chance of going off on you and you wasted it, you know, because people, God, get a litre for that much, but are you really going to, well, like I say, unless you're chroming everything.
Yeah, that's it.
Everything's just chrome. But yeah, interesting product.
But yeah, it's nice to see it's mainstream, because again, if you go looking for it, you can find it, big bottles of it and all the rest of it. Say you buy 5 litres of stuff as well. It's expensive at 5 litre size, but it is available. But for modelling wise, just to buy a 60ml bottle of it, that'll last you forever. Yeah, you know, you'd be good to go. But I would say, well, Molotov definitely has a shelf life. I know that for a fact. It's got a couple of years. Once it's been opened, a couple of years later, it just goes grainy and gritty. You can bring it back with a little bit of lacquer thinners into it and really mix it well. But yeah, I must admit, I've binned off my old Molotov pen because it was more metallic than chrome. So
yeah,
Mine's off.
It's yours now.
Mine's dying.
God, I've got some there and I don't know what state they're in. You've just said it
Really
now, but
bitty. Yeah, it's not pretty.
can't you rehydrate it with a bit of leveling thinner?
I think I'll put some leveling thinners in and see what happens.
That's a lot of Oreos, is it? To paint in it, the pistons, the nice chrome pistons. If you get 5 litres of it,
yeah, you'd be fine for that. Okay, George says, hi all, could you tell me what happens to all your completed models? I have very little room and nowhere to display them. What would you suggest? Thanks, George.
God, mine's going in skip because I'm sick to death of tripping over the things at the minute. They're all over. I've said this before. It's just like when they're built, they're just a bloody dust magnet and they're annoying.
Yeah.
Aren't they? It's a horrible thing to say. The joy for me is building and painting them, not looking at them when they're finished. I mean, obviously we've moved the cabinets because we're going to move around in here. The cabinets are there, but again, I think some of them are due for retirement and. And boxing up, they're all in a box. Literally, I've got boxes up on this mezzanine above my head, the plastic boxes with kits in that are actually now taking up space I need. So
not only his.
Not only his. I've got his. I've got yours. I've definitely got some of Phil's. I've got some of John's. Yeah. well, you'll all be getting them back. So make room.
Again, I think it's that thing, like as we said before, if you've got photos of them, you can look at them at their best as well, because normally, unless they're in sealed cabinets, they're going to get dusty. Bits do fall off over time with them. You know, I'm lucky, like Matt there and everything, and Andy's got some nice glass display cabinets.
Yeah.
They're in those. That's my favourites that are in there. The other option we said before, and I've shown them on many videos, is those plastic tubs, which are done by Trumpeter.
Yes.
They do one that's about 31 centimetres square. That you can fit in a 1/48 scale modern jet, no problem at all. You can get 32nd scale biplanes and that. And I've got mine in those, so I've got a little collection. The helicopters I did, I've shown those as well. You can get, I think they're designed for trains or boats, but you can put helicopters in them, so that's quite handy. So they're in with those ones as well. And those are great because they are literally sealed, so dust can't get in them. So I must admit, I've got a rail of them, but you can stack them. So you can put one on top of the other. They are stackable, so that's a nice way to keep them as well. So that's a nice little option. And again, they do different sizes. Didn't Tamiya make them as well?
Tamiya do some. They're more for cars, I think.
Yeah, and I've got one for the bike up there, which is probably the best kept model I've ever done, to be honest. I did that, the Ducati bike, and that's in one of the nice bike display plastic ones. But because it's completely sealed, there's no dust in there or anything, and it still looks very nice. Whereas the others, as I say, if they're out and about and get a little bit dusty, you know what it's like. The amount of dusting you do to them never gets them as they were when they were freshly painted and stuff. So, yeah. Yes.
It does become a problem. I mean, like, I'm lucky because my wife allows me to have a couple of the display cabinets in the living room. So they're in there. But, you know, they've got, once they're full, then where do you go from there? And I've got them all over the house. And,
Just one minute.
Your other option, of course, is the wall hang.
Stop. Guess what? I forgot to put the power on the laptop, so it's about to go flat. I plugged it in. I just switched on the wall. Sorry. Carry on. He just put the screen went dark. Like, what?
Oh, hello. He's running out. But
right,
the other option, obviously, as you've seen, I'll pop a photo up. I've got mine on the wall. So if you're doing sort of larger stuff, they're always a real problem where to put your model. So I wall hang mine. So I've got my bombers all along here. So, yeah.
Don't you think though? You know, like I think if I started rummaging personally through the boxes upstairs, my modelling skills are coming on.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh wow, that's just rubbish in my head now. You know what I mean? I've come on a lot further than that, so it's like, well, why bother keeping them?
And to be honest with you, when I had my bit of clear out just after Christmas, wasn't it? Yeah. I must admit, I have retired and they are in boxes up in the loft now. And a lot of that is the old stuff. You know, some of the big ones as well, just to make room for more in the cabinets and that. So yeah, it's one of those ones where, you know, your modelling skills have improved and you've got your cringeable ones. You're like, God, yeah, get rid of that. And occasionally I've had them where they just start to deteriorate. They get a knock one time. They've lost a few bits at shows.
I've got an idea we should do, not this year because I think we're a bit full on, but next year, right? Take an older kit and redo it and do a side by side. Do you know what I mean? To see how,
modern version of, yes, definitely.
Yeah. And see if you have improved or where you're at, really. Do you know what I mean? I think that'd be.
But also, this is the thing with the hobby, isn't it? Obviously, you'll improve your skills, but obviously you've got that thing of like there's different things out there now as well. So you've got different paints. You might have been using acrylics 20 years ago, and now you're onto lacquers. So you're always going to get different effects with that. And you know, obviously aftermarket bits. You know, cockpits and seats and that have come a long way in the last 20 years compared to what they were as well. So it'd be interesting to do a old version and a new version of that same model.
Yeah,
be an interesting exercise, I reckon, just to see, you know, your progression and stuff. But
the thing that does me though is if I'm going to throw something away, I sort of look at it and think that took me n number of hours to build. You know, that I've got invested into it. Do I really want to throw, you know, 40 hours worth of work away? Do you know what I mean? But then.
But then the enjoyment in the 40 hours building it and painting it, not actually just sitting collecting dust on the shelf.
Yeah, true.
That's only my opinion. I'm not thinking for anybody else.
Like I've often said, isn't it? You've got that thing where I don't mind if the model got destroyed as long as I've got the end photos.
Yeah.
You know, because, and it has happened publicly in one case, but it's that thing and everyone's like, oh, you took that really well. I don't care. At the end of the day, I've had my enjoyment of building it, doing the filming work for you guys, and obviously, you know, you got the end photos of it, which you can never take away. which are all the best angles of it anyway. So at the end of the day, if it suddenly gets destroyed or, you know, lost or whatever it is like that, it's one of those where I've got everything I wanted out of it, because technically now it is a little bit of a dust magnet. You know, they are taking up room and the various things, and you move, like, you know, in here it's getting tight on space as always, and you're doing that thing. I've got Spitfires over there and I keep moving it every time I need to do something. So it's like, just get it out of the way.
I've got that, my Hurricane, you know, my big Hurricane.
Yeah.
I've got nowhere for it to live upstairs. He's done more air miles than a real one, I think, just going around. Because I need to put, because it's just, it is.
And that is
small.
Yeah.
No, and that's what we're saying, you know, they're not small, and that's why in some ways they're great. If you could hang them on the wall, that's a nice place for them. One is they don't get dusty because they're like this and the dust doesn't stick, you know, but if you've got it like this and you're having to pick it up and move it around all the time, you know, and to be honest, this bloody thing is going to be an absolute nightmare when it's done, because it's big and gangly and got bits that are hanging off of it. It's what you're going to do with it, you know.
Hey, you said go big or go home this year, so
well, this is true.
Well,
no, this will hang on the wall. This is going to be a wall hanger somewhere. So yes, it will go up on the wall. But yeah, it's one of those big ones. If you don't have, this is the other problem you've got as well, is that it's all very well saying hang them on the wall, but I've got a B52, B17, and a TU95 taking up technically that wall.
And a Lancaster.
And yeah, we'll say there will be a Lancaster. We've got the Vulcan in there, and I've got an A10, and you know the Mozzie, and it's like, yeah, I've run out of wall space now. I'm going to start to like take over the house.
Put them on the ceiling.
Hey, you'll be hanging them like. Oh,
yeah, that's it. I was going to say I could put them on the lighting rig up here as well. But
just wait for them, just the string to break them.
yeah, drag down the entire lighting rig above us and the camera rig.
I've never been so emotionally attached to them. If one did get broken. Yeah, so I think, it just goes in the bin. Yeah, I mean, having a wife that uses a hammer as a duster doesn't help. Sure. Every time she does something, gets knocked off one of them. So yeah, it's
again.
I think it is nice. I think everybody's got their favourites that they'll probably will keep at their own builds. But again, I think if you did go through it, like I say, go up to the box upstairs, because a lot of it's the Luftwaffe SIG anyway, do you know what I mean, for show, so that's but some of that needs retiring, shall we say. I won't say scrapping, but obviously you want to keep that fresh. If we're doing the shows again and we start doing it, you just don't want to keep pulling out the same kits from 3 years ago. It needs freshening up and new stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. I've thrown some old stuff away. Then when they get broken and repaired and repaired and repaired, and then just the undercarriage is 3/3 super glue, just bin it.
Yeah.
So there is a better one coming on the bench, or there's a better one that's being built, but after a while, I think they can go. But
I think again, it depends obviously on your mentality for it. If you're a builder and you really enjoy building, like we're saying with these, it's go big or go home this year with this lot, and it's one of those that it's going to take you a lot longer to put these together, so you've got all that enjoyment of doing it. So that's an average modeler working on a 30-second big project might take them 6 months. So he's only got to find home for that one bigger model every 6 months. But if you're somebody who's a prolific builder and you build like 48 scale or 72nd and you're banging out almost one a week, what do you do with them all? Because
Nate, what do you do with them all?
What do you do with them all, Nate?
They're all very, very efficiently packed, because when you buy like TVs, computers, fridges, you got that polystyrene, don't you?
Yeah.
You can make a very sort of efficient sort of jig, for want of a better word. But what I've seen people do, especially in more of the regional shows, is just put a little sign in front of a model that they're willing to get rid of. You charge a price that's just a nominal.
We should do that. We should have the great Flory model made
kit sell-off. So I've seen some
giveaway,
sell-off.
donation. I don't care. Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, other people build for museums as well, but that's obviously got to match their collection. But I think somewhere between, if a model does a few years on the display circuit and gets thrown away, I'm okay with that. And the other one you can do is just give them away. Give them to a child.
That'll last. That should be in the bin, wouldn't it?
I mean, I got an email about a month ago from someone who's a relative of someone who's passed away. There are 300 models built up, Luftwaffe ones. I think they thought I was going to take them, but it's like, where am I going to put them?
Yeah.
So I'm mindful of that as well. We just end up with you could end up just drowning in built kits. So just let them go. I mean, if you can't sell them or give them away, then just landfill. Unfortunately,
that's the horrible thing, though. It is, though, isn't it? It is landfill, isn't it? That's the worst bit. It's not like they can be recycled, is it?
No, they can't. Well, you could get a BB gun and have some fun with them.
The grape shoot.
Go back to your childhood and set fire to them, fling them around the garden.
I mean, it is a thing that it is a problem we've all got, I think, and at some point they have to go. Don't they? But go to a model show and just put a little sign up. Free to a good home. Someone will take them.
Or just free.
Yes.
Or just put them up on eBay for £1 or £2. You know.
Yeah.
Just
again, sometimes it's quite nice because a couple of mine have gone over the years, and it's through members who've got contacts with things. As I say, like that 787 went to one of our members' daughter is air crew on that aircraft. So that's quite nice. So it's a little thing for her. We had another one, the big Typhoon, 32nd Typhoon, that went off to the RAF. One of their training squadrons. It's in their display thing there, and various other ones. We did the Chinooks and all the rest of it. I got an F-15 over at Elmendorf as well, and again they've sort of donations over to them as well. So it's nice if they've gone to somewhere nice. But for me, it's not the be all and end all, is because I really enjoy the building side of it. So once they're built and done, you know, it's nice to take them around the shows, don't get me wrong. So I often have people say, oh, can I have your whatever it is, you know, and it's like, no, because that comes around. Or if I'm particularly like them. So, you know, I must admit, I had a couple of people ask me for the Vulcan. And it's like, well, no, I've waited 22 years for that thing to turn up. So I'm not giving it away quite yet. But yeah, no, it's one of those ones where it's nice to do the building process, and it is nice to come in and see them, like the ones that hang on the wall with my, you know, ones in my cabinets. They're ones I'll probably keep, but there are others which will just come and go, you know.
Yeah.
I think model shows might be a way to shift them, because sometimes you find someone will come up and say, I used to work on that. Have it, take it.
You know what? Probably, I think it probably costs for a show if that was on. Would be a good one, because obviously you get a really mixed people go. It's not just kind of modelers, is it? You get quite a, you know, it's a shame Hendon don't do their show anymore as well, isn't it? Some of the others, but or like Newark. Have a look at Newark kid. Somebody who's interested if it's aircraft or whatever it is, but I mean, I bet. You miss your commission days, don't you? Because you just used to do them and get rid of them, and you weren't have any on display.
Well, that was always the thing. You'd always get people come round to your house right at the wrong time, when you're either just starting a model or you've just finished it, and people would come in and say, "Oh, can I see your work?" No, because I've got nothing here. No. I literally have got nothing, because everything I built would go out.
Yeah.
So, and again, that was always quite, I tell you, that's the thing, because when I first stopped doing the commissions and I was keeping them, that was really nice. I used to be quite chuffed because I got models in a display cabinet, and people would come over and you go, oh, and this is my models that I do, you know? And it was like, oh, that's nice. But now I'm drowning in them.
It's gone the other way.
Like, gone the other way now, yeah. So, gone from none at all to too many.
But just think, Andy, right? If you actually managed to build all your stash, you'd have nowhere to live.
No.
Yeah. Need a bigger house.
Yeah.
You need a warehouse to display it all.
To buy next door.
And the big thing here, because we've obviously got the unit and stuff, and it's a big space. It's not a planning space, but even so, when you've got built models and stuff, I mean, like the tables that was upstairs is 2 now out of how many did we have up there?
Loads.
8.
Loads.
Yeah.
Perhaps because they used to run down above me
both
here
sides,
and then above the other side, both sides. Well, they've had to go because obviously now we've got racking and stuff up there. So there's literally 2 tables in the back corner, which again they might have to be moved or collapsed at some point because we need the space. But
start selling them for some pin money then.
Yeah, I'd say I might just put it on the forum, see if anybody wants any, take some photos, and you know, there's a Wessex up there. Don't know if Galman Earth looking at that, so that might have to go.
You leave my bloody Wessex alone.
It's just shipping them though, isn't it? If people want to buy them, then
no, they can come and pick them up.
Yeah, pick up only. Shipping's a nightmare. Shipping models, God.
You spend more time packaging trying to. No, tanks and stuff aren't so bad. If I'm honest, armour's a lot.
Armour's easy. Aircraft are the problem.
They're easy to do because obviously you might lose a wing mirror on a car or perhaps a bumper, but there's not a lot else. And tanks as well, they're pretty sturdy, aren't they? But like just looking in that cabinet, you know, like your 189, that would never make it anywhere because that would just be, it's so fragile. And just looking at it, something's going to fall off.
Yeah.
And obviously you're Wessex. Well, Jesus,
No.
not with the size of the rotors. It's too many sticky out bits on aircraft.
I think a model show's going to be worth putting a display on.
Yeah.
That's if you want to get them to a new home.
Everything, the figures actually are all right. The busts and
easy.
stuff, they're dead easy to wrap up and just whack in a box. They're never going to get broke with solid resin, most of them, aren't they, when they're busts and that. But yeah, interesting. Interesting talk. We could talk about this on Saturday. We'll talk about it now. This is like
that's it. Yeah, save this. We're peaking too early.
Thursday night, Saturday.
Thursday night topic.
Yeah, we'll bring it back. Have you seen my topic for tomorrow?
I have.
No.
Oh, well, you better go and have a look. Interesting. We're off pizza.
We're not doing pizza then?
No, we did pizza last week.
It's completely unrelated, isn't it?
Oh, sorry.
Everybody's looking. Look.
He is. He's just popping there now. Thursday night. Right. Okay.
I did have an idea for a show, but then I forgot it.
You have to write it down. You have to have a look.
Bird feeding. Related questions.
Hey, you've got to think about the wildlife. And now
to be honest, I do. We've got tons. They cost us a fortune. They eat a 12-kilo sack a month.
Do you have large balls?
Well, we don't do those because the dogs eat it and then throw them up. So, but we have very expensive bird seed out there. Trust us, we've got swarms of them.
That's been sitting in his conservatory, looking out the window, thinking, bird feeding.
You'll see the size of the pigeons that sit in the tree. Oh my God, they're like massive things. They're not underfed. They're huge.
Yeah, that's it. They're fine.
The tree's buckling, but no, it's actually now we have trees. It's actually quite nice. So it's bird feeding. Yes. And other modelling related questions.
Definitely.
The wind keeps him awake in the trees now.
Yeah, that's it.
That and the blackbirds and the starlings and everything else that's starting to squawk. But yeah, it's cool. It's good.
Right. Okay, we will call it right there then, guys. So anyway, don't forget we are live tomorrow night at 7:30. I'll be doing the recap show on Friday with you as well, and then obviously we'll be live with you at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning till midday, and then we'll be back with you live from 2 till around about 5 o'clock as well, where we've got a special sale coming on which we'll give you full details about obviously when it starts, and it'll be starting on Saturday. So obviously there'll be lots of kits heavily discounted, our biggest sale to date. We know because Andy's done a badge for it, a little logo. It says big sale.
Yeah, but
change that to massive.
I got complained about it.
Ginormous.
It's not that. It's the wrong colour. It will be the right colour by Saturday. Anyway, we will call it right there. Thank you for Nathan for popping in as well to the PM store. You can start working now. Quick, give him a brown smock to wear.
Yeah,
get him out in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Definitely. Right, okay then, gentlemen, don't forget you get all your bits pieces that you need over at the PM store. New stocks arriving daily and restocks all the time, as you know, as well. So just keep an eye out on there and you can grab yourself some bargains as well. But anyway, we will see you hopefully at the weekend. If not, take care. Enjoy the weekend and your modelling and everything else like that. We'll see you all again soon. Say goodbye, gentlemen.
Bye.
Bye.